Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Karen and Chrisavola and Elizabeth and Emma. Hi, Brenda and Mary and Diane and Pat and Janet. Hello, guys. Make sure to share. Let people know we're on. They probably think I'm not going to be here. Oh, thank you so much, Donna. All right, let's switch this camera. I was so afraid I was going to hit the wrong button, not having gone live on 2 platforms since I got sick. So hello, guys, and happy Sunday. It's warmer there. It is right now. Let's see what that says, because that is not right. It is 40 degrees here right now, but we woke up to temps in the low teens, and it felt like with the wind chill and everything, 9. So let me just tell you, I'm not used to that kind of weather anymore. So I will go ahead and apologize in advance that I do still have a cough. I have a bag of cough drops handy. So hopefully sucking on those aren't gonna mess with anything. But and then I also have some of my hot tea. Thank you so much, Peg. It's so good to be back. Cannon City, Colorado. Hello, Denise and Dawn and Loretta and Bonnie. So yes, we are having a a cold snap. Now I will say, hi Debbie Easton, thank you, and Bev. I'm feeling so much better. Pam Gross, I've been thinking about you and we'll be praying for you this week, okay? I know you have some things coming up, so tomorrow. But I hated missing. Thank you, Diane. Hi, Mom. I so missed you guys, but I will say, like I told my membership group, because I had to move all of my lessons. We did do one this past week, but I had to move them all to another month because I just couldn't talk. I mean, like 5 words out of my mouth and I'm having a coughing attack. I'm still having some coughing attacks if I talk a lot. So 50 degrees, you're 10 degrees hotter than we are here in Georgia, Bonnie. That's crazy. Hi, Vishali. Hi, Kathy Pruitt. It's 60 in Oregon. Oh my gosh, I'm jealous. Got up to 32 wind chill. Yes, it was crazy to see the snow. My parents live in Alabama. They had snow. My sister's in Tennessee. They had a lot of snow and ice. Hi, Marie. We had snow, a couple weeks ago. I think I posted pictures on my Facebook page, and by the afternoon it was gone. So that's the kind of snow I like, where you can see it all pretty falling and be inspired, but stay in the warmth of your home, and then it's gone. So you scared me. I'm at the car wash and had this on so I wouldn't miss it. Aw, thank you, Leanne. Thank you, Debbie, for sprinkling. My son lives close to Tampa. Yes, Florida is not used to this kind of weather. Hi, Linda. It's just crazy how it's changed, right? Oh, you can really see the gray in my hair when I turn. I do have a hair appointment this month, thankfully. The ice flows have come in with the cold. Oh, yes. Hi, Karen. I'm live. She checked in on me. Okay, I've got to figure out why these ads are popping up over on YouTube. That must be something new, because I even had to skip that one. Okay, anyway, happy Sunday, guys. It is 4:05. I am Sandy McTeer. I almost said Sandy Warner McTeer. 24, oh my gosh, 35, Linda. Well, I'm glad it's not in, the teens like you mentioned, and I'm glad you're here. Having a heat wave, 17 degrees, balmy 24 in Indiana. I should do the weather. Yeah, my cuz posted his snow flurries. He is above Jacksonville. Yes, crazy, huh? And to see pictures from St. Augustine and Myrtle Beach and stuff with snow. I mean, just crazy. Hi, Virginia. Hi, Hi, Wendy Goldberg. Good to see you. So, like I was saying, guys, if you're new here, sorry, let me get a sip of water. I have lemon water. Cool but sunny in Nevada, I bet. I'm Sandy McTeer. Welcome into my studio. If this is your first time here, let me know where you're viewing from. Would love to have you follow, like, comment, share, all the above. And we're going to do a little studio chit chat and then get busy on my Frida. I love her. Hi, Anne. So she just makes me smile. Now, you might be able to see I had to give her a little concealer on her cheeks. Whenever I paint my girls and stuff, a lot of times, not sure where my comment went. Getting nails done, just stopping by to say hello. Hey, sister, have fun doing your nails. I went and got mine done the other day. And when my parents came up and got theirs done, I got to have lunch with them. So that's always a treat. Anyway, but like I was saying, I spent the majority of January in bed. Thank you, Virginia. I love the studio tour with my membership group was totally unplanned, but I couldn't remember who won Happy Mail for the month. So I had to come out to my studio and look, and I thought, what the heck, I'm already on. I might as well just do a studio tour for them. So I did. I showed them this space that I'm in and then also my Glowforge room. We just bypassed them ads. Yes, I know, but I need to figure out why they're that way. So it's freezing snow. Oh my goodness. Hi, Carol Lee and Glenna. Yes, I loved doing the studio tour. Did I say hi to Ann Davis? And who else is here? Debbie and Leslie and Faye. So good to see you. Okay, so I spent most of January in bed, resting, sleeping a lot. One night I slept 12 hours straight, which is very unheard of for me because I usually don't sleep through the night. But I was down for the count. And after the flu, I got a sinus infection. So the cough is sticking around. It's Nanette, packing the move to the equator. Thank you, Loretta. So the paintings behind me were actually some pieces that I did for some seminar selections that I have coming up this year. The teacup one, I will have the packet at the Art Expo, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. So, hi, Patrick. Cold Florida, Debbie, I know. You guys are not used to those temps, right? Like I've told y'all before, living in, well, even England was cold and just damp during the winter. Not always a lot of snow, but living in Iceland for 2 years, there was a lot of snow and it was cold. But Nebraska was even colder, I will say, than Iceland. So I pretty much stay in the house during the winter. Cindy, you look great. Thank you, Debbie. So I lost 10 pounds, but I'm sure I'll put it back on somewhere. I hope not. I love teacups too. So I did another version of the teacup for a net submission, the New England Traditions Convention. And let me see if I have that on here. If you missed it on my Facebook page, I love Frida too, Leslie. I'm so glad you love her. Thank you. So these are some painting conventions coming up. There are a lot of other teachers that teach, seminars. I'm going to Little Rock in April and Albany to paint I'm painting with the patchwork painters in Arkansas in April. Then the end of April, I'm painting with the Capitolers in New York, Albany, New York. But there are a lot of teachers that teach, throughout the country. And so if you follow them, make sure you look at their schedule and see if they're teaching in your area. So, hi, Peggy. Good to see you on. Hi, Brenda. Do you have snow where you're at? My sister is in the Columbia, South Carolina area. She's in South Carolina. And they got snow. So... Anyway, so glad to be back. We are celebrating today in Alberta because we are very warm for us at this time of year and within 1 degree of places in Florida. Wow. And I said Brenda Owen and I meant Brenda in South Carolina. So many Brendas, but glad to hear. Hi, Chris Avola. Oh, I did. Over there, Brenda Sawyer. Hello, South Carolina. Oh, same here, Linda. Ask them if they're going to do any kind of, I don't think they've said anything about doing it virtual as well. But, okay, guys, looking forward to painting with you. Oh, Peggy, thank you. I'm so looking forward to being there with y'all. And look forward to y'all's selections. 9 inches of snow. Sheila, bless your heart. Ugh. No, thank you. No, thank you. Okay, it's 10 after, guys. Let's get started because I do have some things to share with you. I have a friend in Preston, Georgia, and she had snow this past week. Yes. You know, the wind that came up and very cold weather that came up to us yesterday was actually supposed to stay a little bit more south, but it was freezing here and the wind was crazy. I thought my house was going to blow over. That's how crazy. Charlotte, North Carolina. Yep, I was born in Jacksonville, North Carolina. Hi, Lucy Mott. Oh, every time you post those road pictures, I just pray for you that you make it safely to get your kid to work and then home. Oh. Hi, Deb. Hello. Okay. Oh, thank you, Diane. Yes, so funny enough, the deadline for the net submissions was the 24th of January, and I just thought, I don't know if I can paint anything. But thankfully I did. I got 3 things painted, which I can't show you right now, but hopefully I'm selected to teach, and then if I am, I can share those with you, so. Oh my goodness, Lisa, are you still in the hospital? Pneumonia and RSV. One of my sweet friends, her daughter ended up in the hospital as well with RSV. So I know. I just pray for you because I'm sure you have got those hands on the wheel. And okay, yes, the wind was horrendous. Okay, guys, so in June. Let's see right there. Oh, thanks. I just had a couple new followers. Appreciate you guys. So in June is the annual Painting and Creative Expo. So in 2024, they did it in Chattanooga. It was the first one. I thought it was fantastic. The location was amazing. This location, from what I hear, is it's not in a hotel convention center, but I heard the area is beautiful and the facilities are great with great classrooms. The teacher selection is amazing. So you see the website right there at the bottom of that. I'm teaching the special opening event, which is Sweet Home Christmas. And I'm going to show you that piece in person, but over the internet. Hi, Sharon. Oh my goodness, Lisa, I'm so sorry to hear you're still in the hospital. Hi, Phyllis. So this is the piece. And it's doubled up. So it's got a frame and then the inside is the design, but it's to mimic stained glass. So since it's Sweet Home Christmas is the theme, I thought a magnolia was fitting, which is very Southern, right? So this is the special opening event. Absolutely love this piece. It is chock full of techniques. It really is super easy. I would say probably the hardest part on it, and it's not even hard, it's just a little time consuming, is to get those lines straight. Blue painter's tape is our friend, right? So, you need to find someone there, Linda, from like y'all's old chapter to come with you, right? All right, let me just put that there. Well, I'm gonna move it because I don't want anything on it. Okay. Thank you. All righty. So let's come right down here and get started a little bit. I met a lady the other day with a laser cutter, but she's moving to Georgia. Aw, bummer. You know what? Look on Marketplace, Loretta. They're always on Marketplace. So, but you want to make sure it works before you buy it. Okay, so again, don't forget to like, comment, share, let people know you're on. I have a little challenge that I'm going to challenge you guys to help me with, okay? But first, what I want to show you are the 2 random act of kindness pins that I did. Let's zoom in just a wee bit. That I did what? The first weekend, maybe January 4th. I had so many things lined up for January, but ended up in bed with the flu. So we did these 2, and then I also have a bunny that I haven't done yet live, but I will be doing that this month, okay? And then my Frida, I love, love, love her. So, hi Carrie, thank you. Hi Kay, good to see you on. Do you guys have a lot of snow in Virginia? Thank you. What kind of laser cutter? I have 2 glow forges. They cut wood and stencils, yes. So these are the little Frida, and when I was sick, I was designing product labels and stickers. In fact, I'm going to have some stickers on my website soon, and let me just show you kind of an example. So that's going to be one of them. I did this one the other day, and I love her. I actually have a YouTube video showing how to paint her. Mine sold out during our opening on Friday. Oh, wow. Awesome. What sold out, Loretta? The pins you painted? Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so let's come back down here. I just love her. She makes me smile. So I am going to have stickers soon. I'll have them at the conventions. I'll also have them on my website. But this little pack comes with the 6 Fridas and then the flowers that we're going to paint, okay? So just for the sake of not having to squint, I went ahead and made her a little bit bigger. Okay, I was a little worried because I did it this afternoon about 2 o'clock, and it's hard to vent that outside when it's that cold. I always love showing you guys. I know I shared this with you in January. So with my membership group, we're doing Word of the Year. So we did our Word of the Year. Mine is energy. And it's not just energy to do things. I usually have a lot of energy. Not in January, but which was funny that I picked this word and then I ended up most of the month in bed. But the energy I give things, the energy that I put towards my art, my family, my faith, all these things. So that's my word. And then did this with my membership group. We did some mixed media things. And then last week, one of our prompts was tulips. So did that with my group. And you can always find out more information on my website, which is somewhere right there. And there's also a discount code. So whenever you shop on my website, unless you're in my membership group, you can use that discount code, okay? Some other new things real quick. Let's zoom in here. I have some new stencils. And this one is Hearts Galore Mini Stencil 2. And I went ahead and stenciled them all out so that you could see. So all over little baby hearts. I love that one. Hearts within a heart. Slatted hearts. Kind of a stained glass puzzle heart, if you will. And then some bigger ones a little bit more spread out. So those are on my website. And let's move that over there. I have some new ones going out with Happy Mail and also with orders. Okay, so I have this one, the postage stamp. What I like about that too is you could put blue tape over that and stencil around the edge to give you a stamped image, looking like a postage stamp. I know I've been giving these out, and I have a third one, but I did not get it finished cutting. So, all right, let's get started. I will share with you guys next week too my OKC projects. Let's move that over here. What is the discount code, please? It is capital A, capital R, capital T. Oh my goodness, Loretta, that is fantastic that all your pins sold. I love that. Love it, love it, love it. Fantastic. The heart stencil set is Hearts Galore Mini Stencil Set 2. I have a set 1 as well. If you look under what's new, you'll find them there. I hope we don't have a lot of focusing issues. I know with the new update, my my phone on Thursday was kind of bouncing around with, you know, thank you, Chris. Hi, Charlene. Do you sell the pins in your shop? I don't sell the pin backs or the magnets, okay? Let me get this other light on because I feel like I'm in the dark on the right-hand side of my table here. Okay. So we're going to paint Frida. And I base coated her first on the top and the sides. You could also do the back if you wanted to. But I did it with the multi-purpose sealer. Especially on MDF, sometimes you get that grain that pops up. Thank you, Carol. Hi, Laura. I'm feeling so much better. I also have some new collage stencils that are out, guys, that you will find on my website. I did not bring those to show you. So, but check them out. They're super cool. All right. So we are going to do Frida. So I painted her, like I said, with the multi-purpose sealer. And then I gave her 1 coat of warm white. Okay. And let me just reach over here and grab my titanium white that I forgot to grab. So I did that for her and the flowers. And you could leave the flowers off or you could put them on. They're actually scored on her hair, but I wanted to have a dimensional piece. And that's why this set's a little bit more expensive than the other Random Act of Kindness pins that I do, because these little buggers are a lot of fun to cut. Not. They just take forever because they're so small. Okay. So let's get out some colors, and let's get out my, palette paper, my favorite, the Gray Matters palette paper. And when you get it, guys, don't throw that piece away. That's a really good thing to either stick in a page protector, laminate it, whatever. It's got a great value scale here, some information about the color wheel. So we're going to get out some warm beige. So again, if you're new here, I paint with DecoArt products. I just bought Frida. Oh, wonderful. She's so stinking cute. I just love her. And then let's go ahead and get some black because we're going to base coat some things. Excuse me. And, yep, we'll do that for now. Okay, so I need like a number 12. I hope that'll work. Find my Dynasty. So this is a 1/2 inch, but it's equivalent to like a size 12. Okay. So what I did on her is, even though there's a little score line here, I still went all the way to the bottom with the flesh tone. You can darken this with a little bit of asphaltum. If you want a little bit darker skin tone, if you want it a little bit on the more porcelain lighter side, you can add a little bit of warm white. When I was in Mexico City in December, probably one of the highlights of my trip was seeing an original Frida. There were actually 2. One was a sketch that she had done, and then one was, an actual painting. And I just sat there and looked at it and had a tear in my eyes. So thank you, Chris. Hi, Sherry Ann. Hi, Sylvia. How are you doing? Thank you, Gail. I'm feeling so much better. So much better. just playing catch up, you know. Y'all know how it is when you're sick and you've got a lot to do, which is one reason that usually when I'm sick, I just push through and get done what I needed to do. But I also knew that if I did not rest, I was going to have it longer and probably relapse. So, all right. So, did a thin coat to begin with and a second coat. And we're going to dry it. I could have mixed it, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to tone it down a little bit. We don't want her to look like she's orangey. Let me see if that's okay. Hello from Venezuela. Glad you're here. Okay, she's dry. Now, if you use a heat tool, I'm using my Ranger Heat It, my favorite heat tool. Thank you, Lucy, for sharing. If you go to your piece right after you have hit it with the heat tool, it is going to zap and put that paint exactly where you have it on the brush. Okay, so you want to let it cool down first. Okay, so I'm going to get some warm white. And rinse my brush out well. I'm going to keep some paint in it. Excuse me, so I'm going to keep some water in it. And just come over here and get some warm white. Okay, tap it across my paper towel. And I'm just going to do a wash. Okay, and then just smooth that out. And then I'll bring my mop brush and I'm just going to soften that a little bit. And let's dry it again. Oh yeah, there we go. She does, doesn't she? And the funny thing is, when I lived in Japan, I have quite a few kokeshi dolls, which are Japanese dolls. And I thought about doing that as well at some point. I don't know, I love kokeshi dolls, if you know what those are. But yes, they do kind of look like this, Debbie, don't they? Aw, thank you, Kathy. I missed y'all. Hi, Pam. How is the temp there in Florida for you? Okay. So let's get out some Coral Cloud. And I'm going to get out a little bit of whipped mocha. This is one of the new 40th anniversary colors since DecoArt started in 1985, which is the year I graduated high school. They came out with those last year. Hi, Cindy. I wanted to give you, show you both colors. So when you're shading, you know, like a skin tone color, you know what? Let me back up. I still want to thin her down. I mean, tone her down. Okay, I think that's going to be better. And here's a tip. When you're painting on a surface that is bigger than your brush, so you saw how many strokes I had to do with that, right? If you go to a bigger brush, it's going to leave fewer strokes for you. Okay, I really need to leave her alone, or we will be here for till next Sunday, just doing her face. The base coat was warm beige. There's natural beige, which, to be honest with you, I think is what I used because it's lighter. But it wasn't with my stack of paints that I had for this piece, so I grabbed warm beige. But you can make a skin tone color with burnt sienna. Quinacridone Gold in the media line makes a beautiful skin tone. Asphaltum is a really pretty one if you're going for a darker skin. Okay, now we're going to paint her hair black. And there again, there's a little bit of a border around the edge, but I did not worry about that. I just took everything right out to the edge. You certainly could put black all the way around if you wanted to. Okay. So just a little bit of water in my brush. I did go around the entire edge with black. You could use a pen, a marker, or paint, whatever you prefer. I will tell you, for her eyebrows, I did not use paint. I used a paint marker, which I will show you. Okay. Oh, I kind of like that little bit right there. Make her hair look like it goes back around, which I didn't do on the original. Okay, so I'm just gonna go into those tiny little crevices and make sure I get everything black. And a little seeped over onto her face, which is no big deal because we're gonna float some color there to separate. All right, let me get a baby wipe. Are you giving instructions with the wood pieces? I'm not, Sylvia, since I'm doing a video. You can either paint them the way I'm painting, or you can paint them however you want, but no. Personally, think videos always better than written. I'm a visual learner. I guess it depends on what kind of learner you are, right? Hi, Lynn. Hi, Donna Baker. Aw. Hope you had a wonderful visit with your grandson. No worries, Sue. All good. Oh, you're so welcome. Yes, and we'll do a little dry brushing to, I kind of always consider, maybe not so much on this one because she's cutesy, but when I'm painting my girls and stuff, I do like to come in and dry brush like that T-zone, up the nose bridge, a little in the middle of the forehead, on the chin, under her eyes. We don't want to give anyone bags. My plastic mat is buckling because of the heat. Okay, so we're going to come in. I want to show you two different colors. Coral Cloud for a shading color. It's a little on the orange side. Okay, so I'm going to use an angle brush. If you're not familiar with an angle brush, it has a toe and a heel. Toe is the longest part, so think of like the part you're going to stub. And so that, I just dip into the paint, work it in, flip it over, work it in. And then probably my biggest tip is just to very gently swipe it across a paper towel. That will flatten any kind of paint you might have built up. Okay, so that one is not going to be dark enough and a little too orangey for me. But let me show you. Okay, so if you like a subtle float, I'm going to add a little bit of that whipped mocha into it. And let's see what we get. I did it with the Coral Cloud, but I grabbed that mocha because I wanted to see if I could tone it down a little bit. That's actually really pretty. So Coral Cloud, whipped mocha. I have more Coral Cloud than I do whipped mocha. And anytime you have floated color, you want it to dry before you float back over it because you will just lift it up. Oh, that's wonderful, Donna. Hello, Denise. How are things up there in your neck of the woods in Canada, and what's the weather? And then I'm just gonna flatten that out. If you get into the hair, don't worry about it. And then I'm gonna use my mop brush that I just misplaced somewhere. Right there. So it's a soft, flat top mop, medium, IPC, which stands for ink pastel chalk, but I love it for my mop. Okay. So do the top, dry it, and then you're gonna reload the brush. And the thing is, you do want a little bit of water in your brush when you're floating color, okay? So, little tip, let's just put a couple little droplets on our palette. And if I need a little bit more water, instead of going to your water basin, just take the heel and pick up the tiniest bit, load it, but then swipe it across a paper towel so that you don't get that bleeding and have that go all the way across your brush, because we want to keep it on the toe of the brush only. Okay, so the toe is down. The heel has nothing on it except a little bit of water. Okay. All right. Trying to see if that is the hair or her. Right there, a little line. That's on her face. Sorry if you're seeing the top of my hair. Okay. And I like that color combo. I would suggest, if you don't, you could always come back and do a wash with your first base color that you used, okay? Or even just a little bit of warm white will tone it down. Oh yeah, Sue, you're gonna love the colors. Awesome. Hi, Debbie. So Loretta, I used warm beige. You can use natural beige, which is, I think, what I used on my original. You can see it's a little bit on the lighter side, and I like that. You can also do a wash or mix some of your warm white with the warm beige if you want it lighter. Shading color, I did the warm beige with, coral cloud with a little bit of whipped mocha. Okay. So let's move that out of the way. And like I said, for her eyebrows, I did not use a liner brush with paint, because there is sometimes when those things are scored, like here where you see the line, it could grab the bristles on the brush and, you know, kind of make it go somewhere. So, oh, that cough, I know. Hi, Barb. So, black Posca pen. I carry the black and the white. I only have them in the 0.7 millimeters. However, if you've not heard, DecoArt has marker makers, so you can make your own marker colors. I like the thinner nib, and they are talking about doing some thinner nibs to them. So I went ahead and just grabbed this one, so because that's what I used. But you want to pump it. It is paint, and you can remove the nib and fill it with paint and a little water, but I would mix a little marker maker with it personally. You never know the impurities in water, if it's going to make it mold or whatever. But these are refillable. The DecoArt ones are refillable. And I have done a video. Let me get this shook up. Okay. So it's like signing your name to a piece of art, right? It's always easier to sign your name with a pen than a paintbrush, I find. So same thing with this. And if I go outside the line, I can always clean it up. But guess what? Frida had bushy eyebrows, so we're not going to worry too much about them. I started to do little hairs, like little, and I'm like, yeah, no. She had a good eyebrow wax on the top and the bottom. So we are just going to fill that in. And if you don't want to waste your marker, maybe outline it. Then you can fill it in with black paint. Like I would not do her hair with this pen. It would just take too much paint and waste the paint in my marker for small details, which is what I use them for. Okay, how easy is that, right? Now the thing is, if you touch it, you're gonna smear it because it's paint. So I'm gonna put that back on. I'm also gonna take that black paint and my 3/8 angle, and let's do her eyes. And her eyes are a little bigger on this one, so I'm just gonna circle around. If you're a dotter and you like to do the dot art, you probably have perfect size for her eyes, if not the end of a paintbrush. It got a little big. Okay, now we're gonna set that aside and let it dry for a second, okay? Oh, thank you, Chris, I appreciate that. And in the description on both on YouTube and over on Facebook, I have a discount code. There's a link there for DecoArt, which is my affiliate link, and then there's a discount code, which is all capitals, my name, Sandy, 15. So you get 15% off anytime, all the time. It's not changing like half the year and half the year like they were doing. Sorry, I have to take a drink. Okay, so we're gonna move her aside and out of the way and come back in with some colors. So I have Atmosphere, again, one of the 40th. If you don't have this, lavender, whatever purple you want. You could even use Dioxazine purple if you want it darker. Then I did Strawberry. I love this color. It is a transparent color and makes beautiful washes. And I wish I could show you the project that I submitted to Net, because I did this piece and it was blue. And after I got done, it was red, white, and blue. And it's a Christmas piece. And I thought, I don't want it to look Americana looking. So I changed it by putting a wash of strawberry over the primary blue. Try it. It makes the prettiest purple. Okay. So, I'm going to cough drop in my mouth. We're going to get strawberry and the purple and then a yellow. So I just grabbed some bright yellow because I wanted this to pop. You could also use the yuzu yellow if you want to. And we'll put that on our palette. And finally, some warm white. Have a little bit more warm white right there. And these little paint daubers that I sell, love, love, love. They're perfect for this. So I'm going to start with yellow. And let me show you. I don't want to get into that water, and my sponge is dry. So I'm going to pull that out, tap it on. And I did the smaller. There's two smaller ones and a big one. In the set that I have. Oop, my hair. So we've got yellow. Then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to do that purple. And again, what you want to do, pull it away from the puddle and then pound it into the into the little sponge dauber. So that one's quite big. I'm actually going to do this one. Purple. Oops. Oops. Just knocked it over. And then I'm just going to pounce it on this paper towel. I could get another one. The other great thing about these, though, is you can wash them and reuse them. Okay, you don't want to scrub them on your thing to dry them, or you will end up with pieces of sponge everywhere. So I just took that purple side and dipped it into the pink. Okay, and then we'll wash that. Alrighty. So I'm gonna grab number 4 flat. Bring her a little bit closer to me. I found the strawberry to be the cheek color. Yes, in fact, that's what I used, was strawberry. Okay, And let me zoom in. I have done, Kathy McLean, I have done some girls on my YouTube channel as well, so that you can go and look and see what skin color, because I typically don't do them all the same. It just is whatever, you know, strikes my fancy that day. I'm just putting a little bit of that shading color in that groove. It just depends. Okay. So I'm going to take this number 4 flat. You could use a round brush. I'm going to look at that and see if, yeah. And right here on my palette, I had to step away for a minute. Did you base coat the flowers? I did not base coat them with any color, Deb. I had, Debbie, I just sponged on strawberry, atmosphere, and bright yellow, but there was no white on them. And if I do miss your question, I will try and go back and answer it. It's difficult because it's me, myself, and I, with my dear sweet moderator friend, extraordinary Chris Avola is putting links for me. Thank you so much. Hi, Linda. Yes, it's so nice to sound better and feel better. Okay, so with this number 4 flat, it's a Dynasty brush. I sell, not their whole line, but I do sell quite a few on my website. Anything you find on my website, you're gonna know that I use it and I love it because I sell it. If I don't like it, I'm not gonna sell it. And I have a little water in there, and I'm gonna pick up some of that warm white. Again, a little bit of water. Tap it across the paper towel. And I'm gonna sit on the corner. That's why I'm saying you can use a round brush if you don't wanna flatten your flat brushes, but I don't mind. And all of them are, not all of them. Let me show you which ones. Underneath here is gonna be covered up, but you still can see a part of it, right? And then some of that flower is covered up, but we still want to paint in all of them in case they show through. And we're not going for anything too opaque, but I'm sitting on the corner, pushing and pulling to the center. Push, pull, lift. Oops. And you can see I have too much water in my brush, so I'm just gonna touch the paper towel. Okay, we have a small one there, so I am gonna switch to a smaller brush, probably like a 0 round, a number 2 round. But again, not going for anything opaque right now, just for coverage. And because it's scored, let me show you. Sometimes I think the score lines are great because you can see where everything goes. But the downfall of them is sometimes your paint will seep over. It's an easy fix with your background color, which is that black. Okay. So push, pull, lift, push, pull, lift. Very easy daisy stroke. I tend to do these with my brushes that don't have a great chisel edge. Don't throw them away. They're worth something to use as a stippler or like this to paint in those areas. And then we'll do this other big one here, and then I'll switch. Alrighty. That's my son, my youngest, lives in Connecticut, and he sent us pictures of the most incredible icicles hanging outside the door of his condo. And wow. I mean, they honestly were probably like 3 foot tall. I mean, long. And I remember as a kid breaking them off and sucking on them like a popsicle. And ugh, I would not do that today if you paid me because of all the stuff coming off the the roof that you don't think about as a kid. You're just like, oh, it's ice. Sickle. So I'm just going back over them a second time. Again, does not have to be pretty, especially with that little groove, little score line. Just gonna, alrighty. You could always use your pen as well to come back if you want to be really precise with your detail and where that paint is going to go. But I'm pulling into the center, okay? Oh my gosh, she's so cute. Hi, Monica. Thank you so much. It was. I'll have to, thank you, Chris. I'll have to post a picture on my page so you guys can see it. So I just grabbed a little round brush, little water. Oop, too much water. And I don't know why I'm sitting down, because I don't do real well sitting down and painting. So again, I'm just pulling that into the center. These tiny little daisies. You could use a liner brush because, of course, the originals are a little bit smaller. So a liner brush would probably be the best, or a very tiny round, or you can use the Posca pen. And that's what I want for those. I will come back and put some black between them when I'm done. All right, and then do I have another one? Nope, 3 and 3. I'm just gonna stick a little bit more white on those. I should have used a round for the big ones, but we're going with it. Okay. Then, let's dry this, right? Oh, I know. And, you know, sticking your mouth over the hose or on the outdoor spigot. Oh my. I can put the big Fridas on my website as well. I don't know what size this one is, but I certainly will look. I think she'd make a really cute magnet. So I'm just going around, and you know what? I'm gonna do this one, then I'm gonna stop because I'm gonna put paint on it. And most likely the paint might get in the groove and go outside the line. So, but see how that opened that flower up? Easy peasy. Okay, let's do her cheeks and her little lips. We've got the strawberry out, and I have, what is this brush? This is a 0 round, and she's got this cute little smile. However, we need to do her line for her smile first. So let's do that first. Ah, she's got a little smirk. It's not as round as that one, or as smiley as that one. Okay. Let's come to our flowers. And I'm trying to see which one I did purple. I did this one purple. And what I wanted was, I wanted that edge to be a little bit white. So, and because it's small, what I did is I painted it in with that warm white, and then I just floated color around the base. So we're gonna do that atmosphere, and I have a 1/4 inch angle. Again, remember, toe and heel. Toe is the long part. Work that in so that you only get it on the toe. Swipe it across your paper towel. And I'm just gonna float it right along the base. And walk it up just a little. And you know what? That is a little on the wimpy side. Doesn't show up great. It's so small on that one. And then let me hold this up so you can see. Do you see the glossy stuff on the, oh my gosh, I just got paint all over my original. Ah, the glossy stuff on the flowers, that's jelly drops. So I used some jelly drops on the petals. Now I know when you're giving like a random act of kindness, first off, you don't want it to take too long. You can't spend 3 hours on one pin and make it, you know, time beneficial for you to give them away. Painting and selling them is a totally other thing, which you have permission to do. Okay, so I'm going to take that atmosphere and a little bit of strawberry, and we're going to make a little bit brighter purple. Oh yeah, it's just got a little pink to it. And don't worry about the edges or anything. Okay, we'll clean that up. And then I'm going to do this one with yellow, so bright yellow on the toe of my brush. And I'm going to, the toe is in the center because that's where I'm laying the color. Okay, so it's down, and I'm doing almost like a little U shape. And I have to turn off this tiny little heater in my studio is making it hot. Okay, so then we have, let's see this one. We've got a little pink one there and a pink one there and a yellow one there. So a little bit of yellow. Okay, and then back to strawberry. And I am going to clean those up with the black around them again so that you can see how it's separated. So we did that with strawberry. However, we're going to amp that color up just a bit. There is no prettier pink, in my opinion, than the Media Line Quinacridone Magenta. It is my favorite. Okay, now let's rinse that out and dry it. Right? I know, all the things we used to do. It's crazy. Oh, I forgot this one. Hello. I'm still going to outline it in black. You could always use a thinner, like a fine tip of an Identipin, if you don't want to take that much of a petal away. All right. And then I have yellow. And since that is paint, like I got real wide there, to clean it up, you're going to clean it up just like you would if it was an oopsie paint accident. Okay, with a little bit of water on your brush. Tiny, tiny bit. And then I just put a little bit of, what you call it? Oh, I went too dark, too thick for the little ones. So if you have them, don't use this for the tiny flowers. I would recommend using fine tip on an Identipin or a ultra fine Sharpie marker. Okay. And then we're going to get out our white pen. And let's make sure that is pumped and working. I already placed my order, but will order and maybe, absolutely, Leslie. Yeah, I can always combine orders, and shipping I invoice separately anyway. So, okay, so we're going to do a little dot in her eye, and I am going to go ahead and do the little heart. In white. Could do that with white paint as well. It doesn't have to be the marker. Okay. And then center dot in white, and we're going to make that yellow. Okay. I want to show you again how small these little flowers are. And so again, going around them either with a liner brush or fine tip on an Identipen is going to be the best. Okay, we are going to dry her. And let's just move her to the side for a second. And I want to show you with the white Posca marker, what I did is I did go around these with white. Again, liner brush with paint, round brush with paint, or with the marker maker markers that DecoArt has would be fine with this size, but the smaller ones that I sell in the set will not. They'll be too small. So again, just fill it up. And I'm not worried if I go inside the petal at all, because on these, I'm going to put the jelly drops. And if you are familiar with DecoArt's liquid glass, then that is exactly what the jelly drops are, is like a tinted liquid glass. You get that beautiful sheen and shine with a little bit of pigment to it. And I used it on her lips and on the flowers. I did not do it on the flowers on her head. You certainly could. But again, back to time, money, product going into it, if you're going to give them away or sell them. Okay, so there's our pink one, and I was just holding it with a, what is that? Stylus. I almost said X-Acto knife. But around the edge. Another thing you can do is you can paint the entire thing with white and just paint the petals purple, leaving your edges white. But I found this to be easier because just like on her head, when I did those flowers, you're going to go, because these score lines, you're going to go outside them and have to clean that up anyway. So might as well kill two birds with one stone. Speaking of birds, I have a bird feeder that I watch when I paint, and they were so mean to each other over the last couple of days because it was so cold. And we have one that likes to just plant himself right in the middle and sit there and eat and eat and eat. He is a big guy too. I mean, he's a tiny bird, but he has gained weight. And he shoos everybody away. So if I'm sitting over there painting, I shoo him away. Like I told my group, I'm not big on bullies. So, and then he, then other birds can come and sit until he comes back and kicks them out. I'm also working on a gray silicone mat that I got on Amazon at the beginning of the pandemic. It's the best thing I ever found. And shared it with a bunch of people. I'm sure a lot of y'all on here that if you followed me for a while, you know I've raved about them when I first got it. I think I have 4 now, 4 or 5. Okay, so that is our flowers, and we'll put the jelly drops on it. But what I want to do first, 6 bird feeders. Ah, yes, we keep ours full, but I want to get one that has the camera in it. And have you ever seen the squirrel houses? There's these squirrel houses. I just realized you were on live. Ah, thank you, Karen. So I'm going to do her lips with strawberry. Oh, so stinking cute. Okay, let's dry her so I don't get my hand into it. And then I'll show you a really cool trick with paint marker and your brush. We did have a much better immune system, right? Because, oof. Alrighty. Excuse me. So I'm going to, this is my angle brush. I'm gonna get it wet, tap it off so I don't have any paint in it. But I'm going to do 2 small little U's. I'm gonna do one at a time. So I don't want it to look like I painted it with a paint marker. So I'm gonna take that toe of that brush and just soften it just a little bit. Or you can just float it, okay? I just find that that's an easy way to do it. I put it exactly where I want it. And then again, a little bit of water on my angle brush. I'll move it along. And then while we're there, we can just do a little highlight on her eyebrows. Oops, need a little bit more. Sandy, sandy, sandy. There we go. Let's clean that up with a little bit of black. Okay. One side's darker than the other. Or brighter, I should say. So we'll just make this one bright too. Okay. Now, let's get out. It would not be a project without Payne's Gray, right? Excuse me. Well, funny enough, I went and visited my mom last year sometime, and we watched the birds. It might even been the end of 2024, but we were watching the birds outside, and I came home and I ordered it on Amazon because I wanted a bird feeder. She has a lot. So a little bit on the toe, Payne's Gray. I don't care for the Payne's Gray in the media line, in the Americana line. My go-to is this. It's transparent, it's highly pigmented, it is beautiful for shading, and you can mix it with your Americana colors, okay? So we wanna do a little float of color underneath her eyes, not to give her bags, but we just kinda wanna set her eyes in, okay? Again, you can take your mop and just lightly tap it. I'm gonna do a little bit under her lip and her smile and her lip. And if you get too wide, like I did there, skin color is gonna tone it down. Okay. Now I'm going to get a medium mezzaluna brush. Whatever dry brush you like, these are my go-to mezzaluna. Low Cornell used to make something similar years ago. They are no longer in business. Dynasty has the Mezzaluna set of 4, and I use the medium and the small almost every project I paint, okay? Now what we want to do when you dry brush isn't wet at all, no water. I'm going to pick up some warm white and work it in on my paper towel and wipe a lot of it off. Great place to test it is in the palm of your hand. So you see, I can still see a little bit of white there, but I did wipe off too much, so I'll get that off. But again, great place to test it before you come here, because once you go there, it's there. Now, the cool thing about that, though, is if you get it too bright and white, you can always do a wash of the skin color, whatever skin color you used. Okay, so I'm just kind of doing her T-zone under her eyes, center. So it's going to make her face a little bit darker on the edges. Get right above those eyebrows. And I'm doing soft circular motions. You can go on the corner. Light pressure to begin with, and then as you're going along, it starts to dissipate the paint in your brush. You just add a little bit more pressure and look, more will come out. Okay, so just kind of hold that up so you can see a little bit brighter highlight. Then I'm going to take that brush, keep the white in it. I'm going to come over to the strawberry. Pick up a little bit on the corner, work it in, swipe it across my paper towel to get a lot of the excess out. And we are going to give her some cheeks. Now the first go around is going to be a little bit lighter because I had that white, right? Let me test that before I go to it. So little circular motions. Okay. Now, if you, again, think, oh, that's way too bright, you're just going to come in with your skin tone color. I'm going to get a little warm white with that. Wipe it off. And I can just lightly paint a wash over them. Okay. Then let's dry it. Yes, the Mezzaluna brushes are great, aren't they? With the built-in camera. She posts the most incredible video. Yes, I have a couple of friends that do the same, Donna. And I love watching the squirrel ones where they go in, and the cat little tents or houses that they have outside. In fact, there's a lady on here, Katie something. I should have looked at her name again today because I mentioned it to my membership group and already forgot. But she owns a farm near Nashville and has like 5.3 million followers and has just the most incredible videos of her farm. And so I went down that rabbit hole and watched, foals being born and miniature horses. I'm just taking this round brush with black inky so I can get it to go down into those grooves. All right, now I thought about leaving her hair black. However, in just about every picture I see of Frida, she's got a part in her hair, and it looks like she has a lot of hair. So I want to do some little swirls to give her what looks like little curls and give her that part. So with my 1/4 inch angle, oh, chili, yum. I did send out a newsletter. If you subscribe to my newsletter on my website, but you haven't gotten it, you can email me. Just go to my website and contact me, and I'll make sure that you are on the thing. Check your spam folder, though, because I know a lot of times it goes right to spam. Okay, so I have the atmosphere on the toe of my angle brush, and I am going to, I didn't go all the way to the edge. I just went there, and the toe is facing the left, and it's bleeding a little to the right, okay? Then I'm going to soften that And I'm gonna turn it so I can get my hand out of your way. And then I'm gonna leave some of the black and give her a part. Okay, so easy part in her hair. And then we'll come back to that 0 round with some atmosphere. And I'm gonna add a tiny touch of warm white to it, just to get that a little bit on the lighter side. Swipe it across my paper towel, and when I do a round brush, I kind of roll it and swipe it. And then we're just gonna do little accents. You're not gonna see anything here because I have a flower, but maybe a little curly Q. Does not have to be the same on both sides. My hair certainly never goes the same way on both sides. They kind of have a mind of their own. So we're just gonna put some little curly Q's, swirls in there and give her some pretty little lavender looking curls. We are going to dry this. Alrighty, now, the quinacridone magenta, like I was telling you, I'm not gonna do it on the flower that's gonna go on, with the jelly drops is gonna go on, because you're not gonna be able to see this. The jelly drops, while they're translucent, you really see that, the color. So there is strawberry and then there's also cherry, and I used the cherry over the pink. Okay, but I'm gonna take a little bit of that on the toe of my 1/4 inch angle. Oops, too much water. When you see that much water, you gotta get it off, and we're gonna load it. Swipe it across my paper towel. Again, too much water, and load the other side. Now, if you don't want it that dark, see that line right there? That's the dark color. If you want it lighter, you just continue to walk your brush out. See how much lighter it's getting? Or you can just take it right back to the color. Swipe it across your paper towel. Okay, and it just amps up the color on these flowers because it is a fluid acrylic, highly pigmented. They're just a beautiful, beautiful paint. Okay. And I see that this one did not get as big as it should have with the white. Okay. Now we need a center. We got the dots. I'm gonna use a little touch of Dairy Light Yellow. You could use saffron yellow. If you don't have that, make sure you take those off your paint bottle so that they close. And a tiny dot goes a long way. In fact, let me show you. I have enough on my palette for all of us in the group to paint the dots in her flowers because it does not take much. So I'm just gonna use a stylus. Saffron yellow is equivalent. Oh, forgot that flower, like I said. Hello. And we will turn that around. I'm just going to go in with that quinacridone magenta. Try not to get into the dots. Dotting is a good thing to leave till the end so that you don't get into it. Alrighty, then I need to fix that shape. There. right. We are going to dry, dry, dry. I'll look at the comments. Oh, you're so welcome, Brenda. Yes, there's a free printable of cherry blossoms because in Macon, Georgia, they have a lot of cherry blossoms. In fact, they have a cherry blossom festival that we went to the first time 2 years ago. We've lived here for 21 years almost. Okay, now for her cheeks, I really want to bring those up a little bit more. So with that Mezzaluna brush, I'm going to go into the quinacridone magenta. Always best to start with a lighter and then add if you want to, so that you can kind of build up the color. Again, I want to test it in the palm of my hand, make sure it's not too dark. And just very, very lightly. Oh, pretty, pretty. Another color that is great for cheeks is quinacridone gold. It's an orangey color, but it just adds a touch of warmth, which is so pretty. All right, with the white pen, I'm going to go around the flower centers. That's when I first started using Posca pens, I was like, oh my gosh, they're not real cheap. However, then I found out you can refill them. Same thing with the Decor ones to make custom colors. Okay, and then for the centers of these, I'm going to do the yellow. And I'm just going to put that right over whatever color's on it. You could always do green if you want a green center, or you could just do white. Completely up to you. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Cindy Braden. How are you? All right, let's dry these. I'm going to do that jelly drop. Like I said, I did the cherry drop on her lips and the flower, but you could also use the pink. Grape drop on the purple one, and sweet lemon drop on the yellow ones. I love the little label that comes with it. And then I also did a sticker with her with a quote. I think it says something about her feet. I don't know the exact quote, but okay. So you want to shake that down to the tip. I like to keep those pins that you like, corsage pins, so that you can clean out your nozzle thing before you start. Okay, so make sure it's working. All right. So I did a little bit. I did a dot and pulled it down, and a dot and pulled it down for her lips. Okay, and I'm going to move that over. Before I do that, though, she's going to be done, but she needs a little highlight on her cheeks. So tiny little white dot. And then these, again, you test it over here. And you want to keep a steady pressure for that to come out. And if it goes where you don't want it, it's easy cleanup with your brush while it's wet. Depends on how thick you put it on for drying time, okay? If you do a thin little layer, like I've scraped it over a stencil before, oh, so pretty. But if you put it on thick, like this is pretty thick, it's gonna be domed. See how it stays in one place though, as far as it's not seeping to the other areas? I'm gonna leave, this probably would take several hours to dry completely and overnight for it to cure completely. Okay, so we're gonna move that out of the way. And then the yellow. Again, let's test that. You could also put the yellow in the center of the flowers. So I'm dot and pull, dot and pull. easier to pull it towards you than away from you. I'm curious for any of you dot artists if you've ever used these jelly drops in your dot art. I think that would be beautiful. We don't want yellow on the purple, Sandy. So we're going to do purple. Okay. Dot and pull, dot and pull. And if it didn't go all the way down, you can use your little needle tool or the tip. Just pull it towards the center. So I have pressure here, and then I'm lifting up on my pressure to pull that toward the center. All right. And then, let me just show you, these caps have this thing on the inside. You want to make sure that that clips and clicks when you put it on. Okay, you'll hear it. But you can also take a needle or a pin and stick that down into it. So that if it is clogged, oh, I'm just gonna put that one right over that yellow one. Okay, oh my gosh, I love her. How about y'all? I wonder if those will mix and make an orange. I don't know, I'm gonna try that out. Okay, let's remove that. Again, if you're gonna paint her, what I would recommend, again, there's no list or anything, it's just the video, but you could always watch it, write down the colors, but use colors you have. I do have jelly drops, but I don't have a lot of them. And I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be carrying them, although I love them. I'm also reevaluating what I'm carrying this year, so in my store. Okay, so cute, 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 right? And again, this is the little soft one. I love her part. At first, I did not do her part. I'm going to have to clean that up. It just was black, and I thought, oh, she needs a part. Oh, love it, love it. All right, and then, like I said, this one is the bunny. We're probably going to do that. I don't know if it's going to be next week. I do plan to be live. Maybe I shouldn't say that because last time I jinxed myself and ended up sick for the whole month. All right, I think that might be it. Oh, to attach them, this is my absolute favorite glue. I used it when I did my palette piece that has all the little bits and bobs wood pieces that go with it, and they were dry before we were ready to paint. Oh, I did it with the butterfly that I did at OKC as well. And it dries so fast that, because I'm not real big on super glue, I tend to get my fingers glued together, but Beacon Quick Grip, fantastic. So highly, highly, highly recommend that glue. Okay, let's see, I have to do one for me and then a few for friends. Awesome. Thank you, Virginia. Thank you, Marie. I appreciate that. Frida herself never looked so happy, right? With her pink lipstick on. Oh, thank you. So over on YouTube, Chris did, Facebook. Chris, are you going to put that on YouTube as well? She wrote down all the colors. You're so sweet. Look, you guys. I think, she put them over on YouTube as well. I appreciate you. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being here. She is great. Stay healthy. I will. Thank you, Sylvia. Yes. Awesome. Okay. Hello, Rhonda. How are you? All right, I will measure this Frida and see what size she is, and I will get that added to my website. The size for the one in the set is on my website, so you'll be able to see what size those are. And again, with that one, and that one. And I also have another, I have a bunny, another bunny, but it's a Peeps that I haven't decided if I'm going to do that or not. We'll just have to see. But, so if you're looking for the colors that I used, again, Chris put those over on YouTube and then also on my Facebook page. Okay. Thank you guys so much for being here. It's so good to be back. I will be back next Sunday, hopefully with no cough. The tea's certainly helping it. So just appreciate you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. And I'm just going to leave you with a little bit of inspiration and a little funny at the end. All right, so let's see, what else do I want to share with you? Do I have another one? I thought I downloaded more. Nope. Okay, well, here's your laugh for the day. See y'all later. Be safe, stay warm and healthy, and I will see you guys next Sunday. All right, bye.